Solutions. So when we start the development, right, in Dynamics 365, the first thing we have to learn about the solutions. So what it is general meaning by solution in normal outside? What is mean by generally the solution? Normal English, it's like a solution for the problems, right? In any technology, I'm not talking about the Dynamics 365. Any technology, whatever the code we will write it, right? That we'll call it as a solution. Okay. So that maybe if it is .NET code, in Visual Studio Code, we will create a solution and we'll create a project to that, right? If you guys already who written the code, they might be aware of it. So here the solution means it contains the list of the components. Okay, why we need to create a solution as the first activity? You should ask me, right? Without creating a solution, shall I do the development? Yes, I can do the development. Yes, I can do the development. But that is not the right way of doing the development. Okay, without creating a solution, I can go to the default solution. Then I can write the customizations. I can do my customizations. But that is not the proper way of doing the development. Proper way of standards. It's not the proper standards, right? So that's the reason first we need to create a solution is the first. A solution is nothing but, okay, is this a technical term? Okay, a solution is like a container, all the customizations. So like all the customizations and components which allows you to export the customizations and re-import. That means, so it's a all group of solution components. The solution components, like what is the solution component? Like entities, web resource, okay, site maps, dashboards, plugin assemblies, processors, cloud flows. This all the things will come as a solution components, right? So this, once you have done the development, these things, when you move to the one environment to other environment, so you can simply export the solution and deploy it and import it in the other environment. So this process export and import, how we can do, we can see. Okay, so there are different types of solutions. Okay, so default solution, when you install a CRM, right? When you install a CRM environment, I mean, install means now we have to create an environment for cloud, but on premise, when you install a CRM, when you create an organization, that time itself the default solution will create. That means default solution means default entities, default components, everything will come as a default solution. Okay, what is the prefix for the default solution? New. New. Prefix for the default solution is new. But as a best standards, best process, we have to create our own solution and own publisher, do the customizations within the that solution only. Okay. So why we have to use the our own publisher? What is the benefits? Right? So I developed the project for my company. Okay, with a new underscore. If someone is the developer or some other, they exported solution and they imported in their company and they started using it. You cannot claim this is my solution, right? You cannot claim that if I create a my own publisher, right, with a with a CRM1 underscore. If I create a my publisher, whatever the entities I created, whatever the fields I have created, whatever the JavaScripts I have created, everything will comes under CRM1 underscore. Then I can easily identify and I can claim my software. Right? I mean, this what why we have to do the practices. I told like one of the example, but like there is a lot of things we can have a license terms in the in our own solution. Okay, we can have a different custom license page also. We can keep it configuration pages. We can keep it. Okay, so we have a default solution, manager solution, and unmanaged solution. So default solution, it will come with the when you install a software. I mean, software means when you create an environment. So second one, unmanaged solution. When you create a solution, new solution in the dev environment, by default, it will be unmanaged solution. And sir, if you ask me, I created an unmanaged solution in the dev, and same I want to move as unmanaged to the test. Right? You can export as a unmanaged and import as a unmanaged only. Then there also you can do the changes. Okay. So now managed. So managed is like a when you can export solution as a managed solution and import it. So what is a major difference between a managed and unmanaged? Right. So why we have a two types? Why we need to use this one? What is the best practices we have to follow? Right. So when you have exported as a solution as a unmanaged, that means you are giving your complete source code to someone. Okay, you are giving your source code to someone. They can import that solution. They can make their own changes. Okay, managed solution is a just installable component. You can just install and you can use the software. If you don't need, you can uninstall it. It will be deleted. But whereas unmanaged solution, once you install, you cannot, even if you solution, if you delete it, the components which you have imported, those components will not be deleted. Those will be merged with the default solution. Okay. So manager solution మనం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనకి వద్దు అనుకుంటే మనం రిమూవ్ చేస్తే కాంపోనెంట్స్ అన్ని రిమూవ్ అయిపోతాయి. అదే అన్మేనేజ్ సొల్యూషన్ వన్స్ మనం అన్మేనేజ్ సొల్యూషన్ ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత సొల్యూషన్ డిలీట్ చేసిన ఆ కాంపోనెంట్స్ డిలీట్ అవ్వవు. Those components will be merged with the default solution. Okay, that is the main difference. And second thing, once మనం ఒక సొల్యూషన్ ని ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసాము యాజ్ అన్మేనేజ్డ్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసి ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసాము అవుతుంది. ఒక సొల్యూషన్ అదే సొల్యూషన్ ని నెక్స్ట్ టైం మేనేజ్డ్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసాము ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసాము సక్సెస్ అయిపోతుంది. థర్డ్ టైం మళ్ళీ అదే సొల్యూషన్ ని అన్మేనేజ్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసాము. ఫస్ట్ అన్మేనేజ్ కింద ఎక్స్పోర్ట్ చేసాము, థర్డ్ టైం మళ్ళీ ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు అవ్వదు, ఎర్రర్ త్రో చేస్తుంది. బాబు యూ హ్యావ్ ఆల్రెడీ డన్ యాజ్ ద మేనేజ్డ్. Sir, in that situation, what should we do? Simply create another solution with a different name, export as a unmanaged, and install that. So that you will get unmanaged layer. Unmanaged layer. Okay. So here important points is that for development environment, we will use the unmanaged. For all the higher level environments like a test, UAT, and production, we'll go with the managed solutions only. And one more important point here, when you uninstalling the managed solution, okay, since You have to take care of your data also. Once మన unmanaged solution delete చేసామనుకో, solution delete అయిపోతుంది, బ్యాక్ అండ్ ఫీల్డ్స్ మొత్తం delete అయిపోతుంది, ఆ ఫీల్డ్స్ లో ఉన్న డేటా కూడా పోతుంది. So in production environment, when you're deleting a solution, you have to be very careful. You have to plan the data backup. Then you have to do uninstallation. Okay, that is very, very important. With the working with the solutions, you need to plan your data backup also when you are uninstalling the managed solution. So sometimes the lot of people, they'll ask in the interview, right? I have created one field as a text field. Next time I felt it's a wrong data type and I have to move the another I have created as an option set. Okay, in that scenario, what they plan to do the deployment, right? In the dev environment, all first text field కింద క్రియేట్ చేశారు, బట్ వాళ్ళు బ్యాడ్ అనుకొని దాన్ని డిలీట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ ఆప్షన్ సెట్ కింద క్రియేట్ చేశారు, కానీ ప్రొడక్షన్ ఆల్రెడీ టెక్స్ట్ ఫీల్డ్ ఉంది. సో హౌ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇట్? సో ఇన్ దట్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్, we need to take the data as a backup for that field. Okay, and we need to do the solution upgrade. So when you import a managed solution, it will ask solution update, upgrade, overwrite. Okay, you have to do your solution upgrade, and once you have done the solution upgrade, your new field will become there. Then you have to back up the field data. Okay, personally, my opinion based on my experience, right? What we have to do, we can, instead of deleting the old field and creating that, instead of deleting the field and creating the new field with the same name, just create with this different name, different schema name, maybe display name, we can keep the same. Old field, we can mark it as a don't use or something. And new field, you can promote to the production and copy the data, this field to this field. Run the data update or XRM toolbox. There is a tool, so you can use a data update, you can do it. Then later in the next solution upgrade, remove the old field and promote the solution to production. So that's the best way, instead of deleting and creating the new field, because you don't know what is the integration endpoints also, what are the places these old field may be using, right? So you have to keep that thing also in your mind. When you're doing a solution, when you're doing a development, one field is already in the production, they may be running the reports, Power BI reports. There may be running this lot of integrations there that field is using. All of a sudden, if you delete that field, all the things will get failed, right? Or else, if you want to delete that field, clearly you have to identify all the dependent components and inform to all the other teams as well. Then by the time you are moving to the production, those components also should, dependent components also should go to the production. So instead of you are just making one field change, you are asking me to 10 systems to make the code change, right? In generally, what we will do, we will create a new field and we'll write some workflow or plugin or something from new field to old field, copy the data. Down the line, when the applications will start using the some changes they are using, some changes they are doing in the down applications. During the time this field is no more, it is in used, you can use the new field. But existing applications, existing integration, existing Power BI will run as it is. They will get the data because you are copying the data from new field to old field, right? So these are all the basic things you need to consider when you are doing that. Okay, so this is like a high level thing. Next, we will see how we can create a one solution in the Power Apps new UI, because the old classic UI is going to be outdated in very near, or it might stop in the next version. Okay, so we have to see how to use the new environment only. So to create a solution, okay, so first you need to go to the make.powerapps.com. Okay, makes.powerapps.com is the new CRM customizations page. Okay, you need to go to the makes.powerapps.com, and here in the top you have to select the right environment, which environment you want to do the changes. So like if you have access, right, it will show the dev, UAT and production also sometime. So make sure always you have to be make sure you will be working on the right environment selection here. So this is my dev environment. So I'm selecting this one here. Okay. So in the left hand side, you can see in the makes.powerapps.com, right? Create button. So in the create button, you can able to create your own apps. So you have a different apps here. You can able to create it, your apps. Okay, you can able to create your SQL, or you want to create it like a apps as a blank app from Dataverse, from SharePoint as a backend, from Excel as a backend, from SQL as a backend, from image as a backend. You can start create your apps. But ideally, my recommendation, again, this is a default solution. You always go to your solutions, create within the solution only. Okay, later sessions I will be explaining more on that. So here you can see the create, and in the apps, if you click on these apps here, you can show, it will show you, you can see all your apps currently in your environment. And here tables, it will show like all the tables available in your environment. Okay, flows, it will show all your Power Automates available in your this environment. Okay, so here you can see the solutions. So this is our main concept where we are discussing. So when you click on solutions, it will show all our solutions. So here it's unmanaged or managed. It will show two categories, all three categories. Okay, so I will come back to the solutions little bit. I will discuss about here more. You can see other thing as a chatbot. Okay, chatbots. As like a chatbot is like a now a virtual, right? We have a chatbots. We have a separate modalities. Okay, and AI Hub. These are the solutions. Like if you want, you can pin it. It will come here. Okay, if you pin it, it will come. Choices. It's like option sets in the solution. We will have that, right? And connectors and data flows. Yeah, have the whatever you need it, you can pin it here. It will display here in the left hand side. So this is how the new UI got changed as a for customization page. And you can see the last option, Power Platform Admin. See Power Platform. So when you click on it, all the admin centers. So like we have a Power Automate, we have a one UI site. You can go it Power BI, Power Pages. So Power Platform Admin Center. So Power Virtual Agents. Power Virtual Agents is nothing but a chatbots. Okay. So that one also we'll see in later what one day we will see this session. Okay, so now come back to the here the solutions. So later we discussed, right? We have a managed, unmanaged solutions, and again in the unmanaged solutions, you can find a default solution. If you search it here in the top, you can see the default solution. Okay, it is visible, right? Here you can see the default solution. Okay. So now I want to, sorry, here in the default solution, right? So let's start creating a new solution. And here in the solution, you can see in the top, create a new solution, import solution, app source, publish all customizations. See the history when your solution is got imported or what the changes it is done. In the three dots, you can see if you want to move to the classic. Okay, so ideally in the current, a lot of them in the currently, they are using this classic, but that is going to be stopped. So let's see how we can create a solution now. So this is the new way, new pages. This UI may be little bit, the concept is same as in the classic, but the navigations is different. Okay, so we can see here the display name. So like a so one day training. We will do like a one day training. Okay, that's my solution name. This is my solution name and publisher. What are the publishers? It's the I have created these many publishers. If I want a new publisher, right, I can create a new one. So let's go. I don't want to select the existing one. Let's create a new publisher. So let's say I'm giving like a one day as my publisher name. So one day is the time and prefix I'm giving. Instead of one day, OD I'm giving. One day is my publisher. Starting letters of the generally how we will take it like a project with the start name and thing. Okay, so they choose the prefix value. So this is something will be the where we have a option sets, right? So what the value, the beginning value, if you want to start it with the publisher. Okay. So I created the publisher here. It's got created. We can search here. One day it's got, sorry, I click again. Solution on the version here. We have to give the solution version. Automatically will populate. Okay, if you want to give any specific version, you can give it. In the more details, so like a configuration page. This is the page I'm talking. So where you can build your custom web resource. You're close, sorry. I need to. Okay, this navigation is little bit when you if you have any custom code, I mean like any licensing custom web resource you want to show it there. So now whatever we developed it, right, that solutions we just exporting to the our test environments. Sometimes what we do, right, we'll sell to the outside customer also. So like this solution for you'll sell for $100 or $200, whatever you sell it, and you'll give a license period, right, 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. So that licensing, how we will check it? Whenever each component is loaded on your CRM, right? You will check starting, you will check you write a JavaScript on that page load, you whether you have a license date from this date to this date. During that date, you will write some logic there. Okay, and they will check it. If they want to renew it, how they will renew it? They that go to the custom page. They will give that license details, enter the license name, license key, and they will update it. So internally that will come to our database. We'll write some, they will write some plugin or something that will send a response to our thing. Okay, that they will do it. So here, this custom page. Next, when I told you, right, package type. So package type, whenever you create a new solution, it will come as a unmanaged. So this one you can create your solution. So create a solution will be created here. Okay, and all your components will be shown here. This is your solution. Okay, so these all. So in the next topic, we will discuss about the how to create an entity, then how we